Connected to Twitch server.
Power stat! Why is our power fucking up? Please. Okay, we might be okay now. Good lord. Try again. Okay, that's working again. What the hell, man? We're back, maybe. Connect. Could not get IP address. What the fuck? Connecting? Don't fuck with me, bro. I'll fight you. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's working. It's working. Oh, look at the kitties. Okay. There. Seriously? You were doing it a second ago. Don't fucking do this. Oh my god.
If the world were devoid of stories, how
real?
dull life would become.
Go away. Shoot. Get out of here. Shoot. Are you not gonna work now? Oh, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, you suck. Okay, that works too. Oh, look at the cuties. Oh, the babies. The babies. Okay, we're back. Internet's working. Yay. Kitties. Two crazy cats. Activity. There's chaos. I don't know why these stopped working. What the fuck? Go back. No, I didn't want that. Why? Why you do weird thing? Okay, I fixed it. That's better. It's Mina's. Mina's getting a snack. And the Sea of Stars. Oh, I need to finish Sea of Stars. There's a new update, a DLC. Well, I guess it's not new now, but it was new at some point. Oh, there's food coming out right now. It's food time. Did you see it? It must be an hour. It's 9 o'clock. Yep, it's 9 o'clock on the dot. It gives them food every hour. It's so cool. Nice. Okay.
Artists, creatives, and entertainers across the board, saying this runs counter to the values our nation was built upon and our Constitution guarantees. Saying we know this moment is bigger than us and our industry. And the people you had attached to that included Tom Hanks, Selena Gomez, Meryl Streep, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and hundreds more. Also on the political and slightly entertainment side of things, you had local outlets in New York reporting that Democratic mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani pulled a planned town hall with WABC, and you had Mamdani saying ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel off the air after the FCC sought to pressure them. The message that it sends to each and every American across this country is a message the First Amendment is no longer a right that can be counted on, but rather it is government which will determine what should and should not be discussed and what can and cannot be spoken. We cannot normalize these kinds of acts nor offenses. These must be the basis upon which we act.
Shit.
And then I've got more news for you in just a second, but first let me say I am speaking to you here, right? You
no,
with
you
that
don't.
passion project, the side hustle, that list of 10% off and let them know we sent you. But then next up in the news from that, we should talk about TikTok. Because Trump, he was talking about the deal to get US ownership of the app, and apparently the Fox Corporation's involved.
Hate to tell you this, but a man named Lachlan is involved. You know who Lachlan is? That's a very unusual name, Lachlan Murdoch.
Mr. Murdoch.
I believe, and you call him, and Rupert is probably going to be in the group. I think they're going to be
I
in
think
the
he calls
group.
him Mr.
A couple of
Murdoch.
others, really
actually.
great people, very prominent
He
people.
literally just said
And they're also American patriots, you know, they love
Amazing.
this country. So I think they're going to do a really good job.
Whereas Trump talking about the bosses of the Fox media empire, and if the Murdochs were to invest in the app, reports say that they would do that via the
I
Fox
could make one of
Corporation, not as
these.
individuals. Though also some big things, Trump didn't say how much the deal was worth or the extent of their role. Or because Trump, he also noted that one of his supporters, Oracle founder Larry Ellison, as well as Michael Dell, the CEO of Dell Technologies, are among the list of potential investors. Well, there is still just a lot that we do not know. Right now, it looks like for American
Oh,
users,
crap,
the
I can't
TikTok
afford
algorithm
that.
would run
Lulu,
through
hey,
Oracle, whereas
Lua.
TikTok would reportedly lease
Puppy.
its algorithm to the group of American owners, and then
There's a
Oracle
puppy.
will rebuild it. And when all is said and done, if all goes to plan,
Good
this
doggy.
U.S. group would own 80% of TikTok's U.S. business,
doggy.
and ByteDance's ownership will get a little less than 20%. Also, a big thing is that previous reports suggested that U.S. users would need to download a new app for this whole plan, but it seems like that
Actually,
might
I
not be
might
the
be
case,
like
and we can just stay
this.
right on TikTok as we
213.
know it. Now, in addition to that, you also have a number
Tina?
of people concerned that with these specific investors, they'd have
Who's
the ability
Tina?
to influence content on the app. Right in that, it's got a lot of people concerned and or pissed off. Or people noting that Elon Musk is behind what we see on X, Mark Zuckerberg is
What?
behind Facebook and Instagram, and now TikTok could have the influence of the Fox News family and Larry Ellison. But for now, that's just where we are, and we're gonna have to wait to see how things develop.
We're
But next
back.
up
Swan.
in the news today, we need to
The
talk about
internet
how this
broke.
latest move from the Pentagon is
See,
being
there's
described as a
Lulu.
direct
Hey,
assault on
Lulu.
independent journalism, the most
Good
egregious
doggy. Oh,
violation
she's so
of the
cute.
First
What a good
Amendment, and
doggy.
a cause for alarm for every single American by experts and advocates. Right, because over the weekend, the Pentagon sent out a 17-page memo requiring credentialed journalists to sign a pledge promising to not report anything that hasn't been expressly approved for release. And that includes unclassified information, with the memo then threatening to remove the press pass
Good
from any
girl.
journalists who don't
Who's a
follow
good
the new
doggy?
policy. Also, the new policy restricts
She's
where
like, what?
journalists can go inside the Pentagon. Specifically, it designates large chunks of the building as off
There it
limits
is.
to press without an escort. And that's actually pretty notable because while many offices and
Who
meeting
the
rooms
fuck
are
is
restricted,
Tina?
the press corps was previously allowed access
What
to
am I-
most of the
what am I
building
missing?
unattended. That
I'm missing
apparently did not sit well with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who took to Twitter after the new policy was circulated, saying, "The press does not run the Pentagon. The people do. The press is no
let's
longer
see,
allowed to
okay,
roam
here.
the halls of a secure facility. Wear a badge and follow the rules or go home." Now, that said, this new policy, right, it's
That's
not coming
so
out of nowhere.
random.
Hegseth's actually spent months tightening restrictions on the Pentagon press and limiting military personnel's communications with them directly. Also, the
I
briefing
don't
room's
want that
reportedly
guy.
gone dark, which is a pretty stark difference from the twice weekly televised Q&A sessions that happened there just last year. And Hegseth's chief spokesperson and his press secretary, they reportedly rarely hold
Oh,
media
we
briefings.
found
But
the
also,
li-
a
the
big
ruby.
thing is,
Okay,
despite
we
all
found the
that,
ruby.
or
Go,
maybe
go, go.
because of
Stole it.
we've also seen several big
Stole the
leaks from the
ruby.
Pentagon this year. Leaks that led to a staff even
Jake
briefly trying
Quicks
to
has
use
just
polygraph
redeemed
tests
so
to
genius.
find the
parachute
leaks
for
before being
50.
ordered to stop
Channel
by the
points.
White
JD,
House.
we're
But the reason that we're talking about
back.
all of
Hey,
this, the
yo.
small and the big, is because these
What up,
new
you?
rules, they're taking things to the
Group
next
parachute?
level, and they've even prompted alarm and outrage from experts, advocates,
Oh, you still
and
have to
even
do the
officials
drop
within the Pentagon
command
itself.
if you want
And
it
with that,
to
you had
work.
National Press Club President Mike
I'll do
Balsamo
one.
saying, "If the news about our military must first be
Oh,
approved by the
maybe it's
government,
broken.
then
It's
the
not
public
supposed
is no
to
longer getting independent
drop
reporting. It's
until the
getting
group
only what
parachute
officials
goes
want
off. What
them
the
to
hell?
see. That should alarm every
What?
American." Right, and that was echoed by many repeatedly.
What
with,
the
for
hell?
example, a statement
Group
of the
parachute?
Society of
What?
Professional Journalists
Where's the
saying,
group
"The policy
parachute?
reeks of prior restraint
I want
and
my
calls
money
for, quote,
back.
the most
What the
egregious
hell?
violation of press freedom under the First Amendment."
What a
And you also had
scam.
Seth Stern of the Free Press Foundation saying this
Does it let me do
policy
it
goes
again?
against decades of legal
Where's the
precedent
group
of
parachute?
journalists lawfully obtaining and publishing government secrets. And with that, saying that he
It-
hopes that
It's
journalists
supposed
don't
to
just
queue us
capitulate,
up.
and even says that he hopes that they forego
We're not in the
Pentagon
queue.
access if need be, and
This
adding,
bullshit.
agreeing not to look where the government doesn't want you to look, and by extension not to print what
Something's
it doesn't
always
want you to
broken.
print, is propaganda, not journalism. And you've got no shortage of journalists and press advocates calling this an intimidation tactic and even fundamentally anti-American.
cute.
And
We got
possibly maybe the
those
best
little
demonstration of the
nightmares.
significance here, it came from two-time Pulitzer-winning reporter Bill Merrimaw, who wrote, "Under Pete Hegseth's new rules, journalists would have
Icon,
had their press credentials
badge,
canceled for
cool.
reporting the
Nice,
Johnson
JT.
administration's
Nice
lies
badge.
during the Vietnam War, for John Hersey's groundbreaking
Oh,
New
look at the
Yorker
puppy.
report
She's so
about
cute.
the aftermath of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, the stories about JFK's disastrous Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba, the torture of Iraqi detainees at the Abu Ghraib prison, and countless other stories
Okay,
of
I stole a
importance."
gem.
Again, the backlash here, it doesn't stop
stole
with
the ruby.
journalists and their
Wait a
organizations. I
minute.
mean, even current Pentagon officials
How
are
do I
taking
get
issue with
this
the policy. You've got the
unlocked?
Intercept reporting that unnamed officials have called this, quote, a mockery of
here.
American ideals and something that one would
Maybe
see in some of the
from
most repressive and
this one?
unstable nations on the planet. And even
Okay, let
another
me check
specifically
the
pointing to Hegseth
flow
saying
chart.
this is yet another method where he's
Why
trying
is
to
it
dodge
so fucking
accountability. Now, with all that
hard
said,
to
as far as a
understand?
response to the backlash, you had a
Maybe
Pentagon
it's
spokesperson
that
quick
one?
to defend the new policy. We're saying that the new guidelines are already in line with every other military base in the country, and adding that they are basic common sense guidelines
fuck?
to protect sensitive information.
No, bad.
Maybe the most surprising reaction
supposed
actually
to
came
tell
from
me
Trump
what
because
that
reporters
is.
asked him whether the Pentagon should be part of deciding
good.
what
Okay, there
journalists
we
can
go.
report, and he responded, "No,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
switch
think
plot.
so.
No,
Nothing
no, no, I
stops
don't want it.
reporters."
Stop
But
it.
also, as
I
I
don't
always say,
want that
words
shit.
are
I don't
words and actions are actions.
want
And
it.
right now, there's
Okay,
not really any
what about
indication that he's going to
this
do
one?
something about this. And so, definitely something we're
don't
gonna have to keep
accept
our
it.
eyes on. And in the meantime, of course, I'd love to know your thoughts, opinions, and reactions here. But then another news, 730,000 is your number
shit.
of the day, because that is the number of H-1B visa holders believed to be in the U.S.
This
right now.
flowchart.
When you
This
also
flowchart is
consider
useless.
dependents,
What the
right,
fuck am I supposed to do with
kids,
this?
you're looking at a total of 1.28 to 1.3 million people in the country. And we're looking at those today
Follow the
because
Prime
one,
Minister.
employers use those visas to
Congratulate
bring in high-skilled
here.
foreign workers.
Oh, maybe
and
it's this
two,
one.
Trump is looking
This
to overhaul
2-1?
that. And by overhaul, I mean the fees
It's
to
2-1.
hire an
I
employee
think it
through H-1B,
is
a total of a
this
few $1,000s at most. But now companies are going to have to pay $100,000 for it. And also an interesting thing here is that when Trump announced this change, it sparked
can't be the
confusion, panic, and
couch,
chaos. Because
right?
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick seemed to suggest that the new fee would apply not just to new visa holders, but also to current ones, and
Okay,
that
we'll
it would end
do
up
the
totaling
first
$600,000 per
C.
worker.
Renewals, first times, the company
better be
needs to decide, do they want, is that
poison,
person
blah, blah.
valuable enough? It's
Release in
annual,
bed.
it's for
Kahir is
total-
now the crown
it can be a
prince.
total of 6 years.
Yay, good
So
job.
$100,000 a year.
And with that, announcing the change
Congratulations,
was set to take effect just after
bitch.
midnight Saturday, meaning that companies apparently had little more than a
Where
day
did he
to
go?
prepare for these huge fees on thousands of
the
their
library.
workers. And so you saw firms including Amazon,
Mummy,
Microsoft,
it's
and
Queen.
JP Morgan pulling the fire alarm, warning visa holders not to leave the country and urging those already abroad to
Northland?
fly back as soon as possible. So then on
Alliance,
Saturday,
marriage
the White House
ceremony.
clarified
Oh, yeah,
that the
for the
$100,000
prince.
fee would only apply to new applicants and not renewals or current
He
visa
said, "No,
holders,
I'm
and
good."
that it's a one-time fee, not
Oh,
an
isn't
annual.
that
But still,
nice?
this is expected to disrupt several sectors of the U.S. economy. And really, the only
A
question is whether this
princess? I'm
disruption is
not a
going to be good or
princess.
bad. Right now, on
I'm
the
like
Trump
the
side,
female
you have
Aladdin.
supporters claiming that
He likes
corporations would
me.
use the H-1B visa to
I just
import
don't know it yet.
lower-paid workers, where they could have hired native citizens, effectively taking jobs away from Americans. And with that, you had the White House citing data that appears to show
Wait, why am I
increased
shocked?
unemployment among computer science and computer engineering majors, for example. But then
Maybe
with
because
that,
he's
you have
looking at
critics
me?
countering that the economy is not a zero-sum game, and that H-1B visa holders and their families, they contribute roughly $86
Oh, I'm
billion
shocked because he
in the
likes
US
somebody,
every
but
year.
I
And that's in
don't
addition
think
to
it's
them
me.
providing some of the world's top talent, not just to tech companies, but
Creed,
also to Wall Street,
she-
universities, and the
she
medical
knows.
industry, right? With executives from India now
She's like,
running Google,
"Ooh, it's
Microsoft,
Gina."
and IBM.
He
and
likes
Steve
Gina.
Jobs is
My
making
name's
nearly
Gina in this
6% of
story.
US
Isn't that
positions. So
hilarious?
people critical of this saying that it could weaken American
Fucking Gina.
competitiveness,
Gina.
AI, as well as
Gina,
cripple our
Gina,
healthcare system. And possibly, giving an idea to how steep the cost is to businesses, the median salary for a new H-1B worker in 2023, it was $94,000. Right? And so that
I'm
means
so
most of these
clueless.
people, they don't even make as much as the
Wish
$100,000
him
fee.
well.
And so that, it's why you have many experts saying that really only
I
the
could
biggest
tease him.
companies out
I'm
there
happy
are
for
going to be able
you.
to afford to pay or to extract an exemption from the White House. Right? Arguing that it leaves the startups just shit out of luck with, for example, venture capitalist
Oh, I
Alex
feel a bit
Patrikoff
lost.
telling the New
You
York
are so
Times,
lost,
there is not a
bitch.
single company that I have invested in the last 10 years that could afford to pay this. Right? And so instead of paying it, you have experts saying that they might end up just opting for remote contracting,
noble
offshore
lady you
delivery, and gig
love.
workers. All of which is why the U.S. Chamber of Commerce
I
reacted to the
don't
news
know
with,
about this
"We're
noble
concerned
lady
about the
shit.
impact
I
on
like you.
employees, their families, and American employers." But if you
It's a
ask Trump and
comic.
Lutnick about this, corporate America is just thrilled about having to pay more for foreign workers.
All of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
They
and
love it.
this.
They love it. They really love it. They need it.
Also, regarding
starting
gold
to
card,
understand.
it is
It's
finally here. All you got to do
me.
is just write a check for $1 million to the U.S.
Oh, that's all?
Treasury, and you
Okay.
can legally live and work in the United States. Or if you're sponsored by a corporation, your employer can pay $2 million. But then with all that,
Jesus
what I will say,
Christ.
one place that is
That's
definitely not
extortion
in
as
love
fuck.
with the whole H-1B
Extortion-y?
change is India, where over 70% of